Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Giles, I've stolen your intro. Greetings all. Welcome to the Tuesday edition from Dux Soup. I'm Jo Henderson and I'm here every 2 weeks co-hosting these trademark webinars. Today I'm joined by our Head of Professional Services, Giles Garnett, and in a few moments I'll hand over the stage so he can introduce us all to our latest CRM integration partner, Freshsales. For those who are unfamiliar with the format of these sessions, we'll talk through today's content with lots of demos of the tool, and we always like taking your questions too. I always endeavour to answer as many as I can do as we go through the webinar, but I like to leave the tough ones to Giles at the end. So you should hopefully all see a questions box on your GoToWebinar dashboard. So any questions you have, pop into there. I'll also be pasting any useful links that we discuss, share in the chat function, which is also on the dashboard. So you can save these for future reference too. If you're an existing user, don't forget to leave us a GT review for the opportunity to win one of our limited edition caps. The lovely yellow, beautiful blue, and my favourite, obviously the raspberry. If you're new to Dux Soup, then please take advantage of our free trial as well. It gives you access to all of the features that we cover in today's session, and I will put a link for the review and for the free trial in the session once Giles gets going. As always, we send the recording out to everybody who's attended the session, so you'll receive that later today, which means you can recap anything that you missed. And I will be back at the end of today's session with your questions and to give you the lowdown on our next webinar as well. And for now, I'll hand over to Giles. Take it away.
Excellent. Thank you, Jo. Hello and good morning, good afternoon and good evening to you wherever you may be in the world. And thank you for once again for joining us in our latest of our series of Dux Soup webinars. My name is Giles, as Jo's just mentioned, Head of Professional Services here at Dux Soup. Jo's part of our fabulous marketing team. Now, today we are going to cover the topic of our brand new, fresh off the press, newly released CRM integration. Freshsales is our newest CRM, and we are delighted to announce that. It was made available at the back end of last week, and today is the official announcement launch of it, if you like. What I'm going to do is have a quick agenda here. I'm going to have a quick flick through what's Dux Soup, if there's anybody new here, anybody who's not attended these webinars, not familiar with them, or you've stumbled across this on the YouTube channel, you never know. So I'm going to go through what Dux Soup is. I'm going to touch on what Freshsales is, Dux Sales, Dux Soup. Oh dear me, it's all getting a bit of a muddle, isn't it? So yeah, what's Dux Soup? What's Freshsales? How to install and configure the integration between Dux Soup and Freshsales. We have a little announcement coming as well about something that's coming up in the next couple of months. Another integration that we're looking at releasing very soon. I will say no more than that, but you'll have to wait until the end of the presentation, just before the Q&A. And the Q&A, I open up this for all CRM related integration questions that you may have. Freshsales, of course, is our newest and freshest one. We've also got, of course, our existing ones as well, the HubSpot, Pipedrive and SharpString CRMs. While I'm talking, put your questions in the question box. Jo will answer those, and we'll cover everything else in the Q&A at the end. So on to the business of the day. What is Dux Soup? Dux Soup's a Chrome extension which you can use to mimic human behavior on the LinkedIn platform, and that can be free LinkedIn, Sales Navigator or Recruiter. You basically define the list of targets you want to approach or process, and then you get Dux Soup to carry out your chosen actions. Dux Soup mimics human behavior, and there are 3 different paid versions of Dux Soup now. The link at the bottom there gives you all the details of the 3 versions. And just for completeness, so you understand here, we have a Pro version, a Turbo version, and a Cloud version. All of the integrations and API functionality is available on Turbo and Cloud. So if you're a Pro user, you don't have access to those, I'm afraid. It comes in the tier starting from Turbo. So hopefully that sort of clears things up a little bit there. Everyone understands. When you install Dux Soup for the first time, you automatically get 2 weeks free of the Turbo version. So Jo will have hopefully by now put the link to that into the handouts or the chat box, so that people can then have access to that as and when and required. Okay, so that's what Dux Soup is. It's there. We've been running for nearly 10 years now. So Dux Soup is a well-established part of the LinkedIn automation market. And as I said just now, our latest integration is with Freshsales CRM, which is sometimes referred to as Freshworks. There's sort of like a stable of platforms under that sort of umbrella, as it were. And Freshsales CRM is very much marketed as an AI assisted platform. It's an AI-powered CRM built by Freshworks. Comes under that stable of brands, as I say. There's a little bit of gumph here that you can have a read of, which we can make available if required. And the link at the bottom there is just a very, very easy to follow guide to get started with Freshsales. It just gives you an introduction as to what you can do with the platform, how their Freddy AI works, etc., and how you can use that in manipulating or pushing your leads through your entire system in your CRM there. So have a little read of that, do a bit of research if you're not already using Freshsales. I suspect many of you who are on this webinar are already Freshsales users and are looking at how you can now get your favorite LinkedIn generation tool to work alongside your CRM. So that's Freshsales. Okay, so Dux Soup and Freshsales. Very simply, our integration with Freshsales it looks exactly like our other integrations. So with HubSpot, with Pipedrive, etc., you basically install it through the Dux Dash. There's an option under the Dux Dash to be able to do that. You follow the instructions. You input your API credentials. Choose your settings as to which profiles you want to appear in your CRM, and that's it. You just are ready to go. Then you can then depending on your chosen methodology of outreach, then everything just works. And that's the idea of all of this. We need to have as little human impact interaction as possible. It just needs to happen automatically. That's always the aim with these sorts of solutions. So you make a decision which profiles are making it into your CRM. For example, you can have connected profiles into your CRM. You can have all profiles you ever visit. And once those contacts are there, you have an option then to also have subsequent LinkedIn message exchanges also appearing within your CRM. And you can get notifications when somebody connects with you, when you get a new message in. You can also trigger Dux Soup actions from within the CRM as well. And I'll show you that as part of the demo as well. Now, one thing to note, and there is one little difference here with Freshsales compared to some of our other CRMs. Because of the API of Freshsales, you can't create a contact in Freshsales without an email address. So if Dux Soup doesn't see an email address coming out of LinkedIn when it's doing that import of data, then it will not create a new contact in Freshsales. That's one thing to just be aware of there. It's a limitation of the API and the way that Freshsales work. A record has to have an email address. So just be aware of that. At the bottom there's a link to all of the information about all of the different integrations that we have with Dux Soup. So all the other CRMs, we've got all the other bits and pieces like Lead Fuse, etc., Woodpecker. You can read all about all of those other integrations there at the bottom of the page through that link there. So when it comes to the deciding on your configuration, these are the drop-down boxes that you would see. So on the left-hand side here, our Freshsales account, this is what we see in the Dux Dash. So we have the drop-down box to create and update contacts from connected profiles. That's the default setting, first degrees only, probably. And then we have some other options here, creating notes for new connections, creating notes for messages, updating dynamically when somebody connects with you. That's a really important one. If you're running a campaign and you're reaching out to a bunch of people, this integration, whenever anybody accepts your connection request, becomes a first degree connection and you can see an email address, they will automatically, without you having to do anything else, they will automatically appear in your Freshsales account. So that is a really, really handy feature. It all just happens in the background. And then on the right-hand side, we've got this option here. This is actually a little screen grab from Freshsales itself. And this is part of what we do when we integrate with, when you set up that integration. We're basically enabling the possibility to also trigger actions from within Freshsales. So when you're in a contact in Freshsales, and don't worry, I'll be showing you this live in a second as well for context. So when you're in a contact in Freshsales, you can update your contact, you can message them, you can enroll them into a campaign, etc., etc. If you've got their LinkedIn URL in the right place in Freshsales, you can even connect to them. So do think about how you populate your CRM and what data goes where. if you are using, other methodologies to bring contacts into your CRM. That's enough of me talking through slides. I think it's probably time now to crack on and show you what it looks like in the real world. So first of all, I have set myself up here with a trial Freshsales account. I think you get 3 weeks by default as a new user to Freshsales. And what I want to do now is I want to link my Dux Soup account to my Freshsales account so that all of my first degree connections, all the first degree connections that I'm visiting will then appear in my CRM. So I'm going to go up to my Dux Soup extension icon here, and I'm going to go down to my Dux dash just down the bottom. And over on the left-hand side, we've got our normal menu items here. Down at the bottom, I've got my CRM connections. And there we are. I've already got my 3 existing integrations there. And I want to add my Freshsales account. So we can do that by pressing Add Freshsales Account. And now I need to copy and paste my API and bundle alias details into the Dux Soup account. And we can find that really easily. And yeah, you're going to see my details now. Yeah, you can use them if you want, but I'm going to refresh them straight after this call. So yeah, whatever. If I go back to Freshsales here, and what I need to do is now remember where to find everything. If I click on my details here and I go down to my personal settings, here along the top we see there's a link there to the API. Confirm that I'm not a robot, and I'm definitely not a robot. So here we go. I've got my API key, so I'm going to copy that and paste that one into there. There we go. And then I'm going to copy my bundle alias there into there, and I'm going to press save. And what we'll see now is we'll see my account being created. There we go. And very quickly we can there see my Freshsales account has been added. I'm now going to enable that. And we can see here, I've set it up to create and update people from connected profiles. I could choose something else, but actually I'm just going to leave it as connected profiles for now. So there we are. It's as simple as that. I've added my, no, that was the wrong one. I was looking at Pipedrive. I just need to go down here to Freshsales. There we go. Yeah, I'm glad somebody's paying attention here. Freshsales, there we are. Create and update contacts from connected profiles. There are my other options if I wish to choose something else. Now we've set that up, let's head back to our CRM here. And we can see here that I've got some contacts in here already that were updated a few days ago. Now, if I want to get some more people in here, of course, I would now run my campaign. Actually, what I'm going to do is while I'm talking, I'm going to set my Dux Soup robot off to visit some first degree profiles. And hopefully in the coming minutes, we're going to actually see some of those people then appear here in my CRM. While it's doing that, so we can see here the last ones I put in here were 4 days ago. So we'll see in a minute a few more people coming in here, some first degree connections. While that's doing that, what I would like to show you here is if I click on any of these people here, let's have a look here. So let's take this person here. I can go into this particular person, and we'll see here at the top my options there for being able to update, message, or enroll, or indeed connect with this particular person. And that's because I've got the LinkedIn ID is here, and I've got the LinkedIn profile here. And we can see that only people with email addresses are appearing in here. So all of these, as I said earlier, all of these functionality is aligned with the API. When we do this integration, of course, when we build this integration, we're adding some new fields here into our CRM. We've got the LinkedIn ID here. We've got the LinkedIn profile. And actually, if you click over here and we have a look at the different columns, we can see there's LinkedIn title, LinkedIn degree, LinkedIn location, LinkedIn industry, all of these bits and pieces here. So I could add more of this data here. So the LinkedIn title is actually just a reflection. We're replicating that data there. We can actually see then all of the different bits and pieces here. If I wanted to have a look at industries as well, I can see the different industries. All of this data is coming dynamically from our LinkedIn account and being mapped across in here. Now, while I've been talking, we can see that this gentleman here has just been dynamically added into my CRM while I've been talking. And in a second, we'll see another one coming in there because I'm just getting Dux Soup to auto visit a few profiles while I'm talking. I'm only visiting first degree connections because I want to get some data in here to be able to show you how quickly we can get some data in here. If I refresh this page a second, we may see 1 or 2 more appearing in there. But remember, the best way to run this is dynamically. Just set it up. You enroll people into your campaigns. As people then accept your connection requests, those people with those contact details available will then, of course, appear here in your CRM. So that's essentially how we can then set this up. It's fully aligned with all of our other CRM integrations. We have the same options here if we want to bring in tagged profiles, if it's connected in tags, or indeed every profile we ever visit. Of course, the one limitation and the one difference between Freshsales and all of the other CRMs here is that only if they've got an email address will they end up in my Freshsales account. So just be aware of that. Once they're in here as well, Dux Soup is creating the organization. The organization is being created here. We can see that here under the account list. So automatically the organization is being created. Dux Soup's bringing that data across from LinkedIn as well. And maybe if I refresh now, we may see one or two more appearing in here while Dux Soup's been busy, hopefully. There we are. There's another person there just appeared as Dux Soup is busy. So that's really how it looks. That's how you can harness it. If I click on my accounts list here, we can then see all of the people here that have come in from various places. Yeah, we can see the different people who are coming on. And we've got the accounts there. Where do I need to go? I need to go all accounts, probably. That's where I need to go. There we go. Those were the temporary ones that were created when you first set up your CRM. These are all of the different accounts that Dux Soup is bringing in from the various places. We can see the related contacts to those particular accounts there as well. So we can now then start to really build our framework within our CRM from here to then take those contacts further down our pipeline, as it were. Let's go back to the slides then. So we've talked about, let's go back here. Where were we? Slideshow. So we've talked about what Dux Soup is and what Freshsales is. We haven't talked about all of the functionality of Dux Soup today. I've not talked about campaigns. We touch on a lot of these things in other webinars. So we're not talking about campaigns, all that kind of stuff. Remember, you need Turbo or Cloud in order to be able to make use of these integrations. We've talked about how to install it. We've done a step-by-step walkthrough. It's very simple. We go and find our API key. We copy and paste that into our Dux Soup environment. And then we talked about the configuration. Which people do you wish to appear in your CRM, and so on and so forth. So bearing all that in mind, we have an announcement. So our next integration, which is coming up before the end of the year, is we will be building a similar integration with Salesforce. It's one of the world's biggest CRMs, huge number of users. You guys probably are using Freshsales, but what we're doing is we're adding another string to our bow, as it were. So we'll have a great portfolio of CRMs. We've got SharpSpring, we've got HubSpot and Pipedrive, which we've had running for a number of years now. We've got Freshsales, which is a really new up and coming vibrant product, which is relatively new to the market and certainly really emerging as a strong player. And then we've got the powerhouse before the end of the year, which will be Salesforce. And I think that's really exciting and will take us to another level there as well. We've got a proven, should we say, template for being able to run these integrations now. And it's a case of now looking to see where people want to be able to harness the power of Dux Soup alongside all of these other platforms. What I'd like to do now is, hopefully while I've been talking, we've stimulated some questions. Joe, do we have any questions that have been firing in? And it could be about any Dux Soup questions. It doesn't have to be just about Salesforce. It can be about any of the other Dux Soup functionality or some of the other CRMs indeed.
Yeah, we've got a couple come in. So one from Vicky in the UK. She said, do you have a preferred CRM? Is there one particular that you would recommend?
To be absolutely honest, no. Personally, I've probably used Pipedrive more than anything else, primarily because that was our first integration coming up to 4 years ago. It was released, I think, 4 years ago, this coming January. So I've probably got a bit more experience in using Pipedrive. I know a lot of people use HubSpot because there's a free version of HubSpot that you can use. It's got limited functionality, of course, but there is a relatively low entry-level version of HubSpot. looking at the pricing, the functionality of Freshsales, it looks great. I think I'm really impressed with the product, and my initial impressions have been very, very positive with that. I've got some dealings with Salesforce and also Zoho. What was the other one we were talking about just now?
High level we spoke about as well.
Yeah, Go High Level as well. That's one that we know is very widely used in the lead generation community. I don't have a preference. It's down to you, down to your personal preference. I mean, you look at some of them are really specific and they're very, very focused on that CRM functionality. Whereas you look at some of the platforms as well, like Salesforce, it's an entire ecosystem. So do be aware of the price differences. There are some of the platforms that once you start to put more and more contacts, more leads in there, you can see the price escalate regarding the amount of data that you're storing. So just be aware of that, and before you make a decision, think about what you're trying to really get out of it before you go in. Most of them will give you a free trial, and you'll also, if you go and install it, you get a free trial for anything between a week and a month. And then you usually, if you need to, you can have guidance from them as well. You can set up a call and go through the various options. So there's a huge amount of literature out there, but take a little bit of time and do your research before diving in and making that decision.
Okay. Gerhard has asked if he takes the free trial, can he also, if he was to then take a free Freshsales trial, can he link the two together during this trial phase?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. This now the Freshsales trial is for 3 weeks, 21 days. The Dux Soup Turbo trial is for 2 weeks. But if you reach out to our support team and maybe we have a call, we can also maybe look at extending that trial by a week so that it matches up with the 3 weeks. Just reach out to our support team via the email address that you see there on screen. I'm happy to talk to people as well if you need help setting it up or whatever. It's a very straightforward thing, but Dux Soup Turbo is the basic level that you need from Dux Soup to have the integrations work. That's available through the free trial, and you can have a Freshsales free trial as well. I went through the process last week of setting up my Freshsales demo account. So yes, it works seamlessly. Absolutely.
Lovely, thank you. Juan has asked where can he find the other integrations on our website. I have sent the link out to everyone, but maybe you could just flash that up on screen as well.
Should we do that live? Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so if you go to our homepage and you go to the product, you can see here, if you press the integrations button here, that's where you can go and read out all our other integrations that we have. So you can see here HubSpot, Pipedrive, Zapier, Make, Woodpecker, SharpSpring, go through the whole lot if you want, Zimplify, LeadFuse, etc., etc. So all of the information around all of our integrations is here. Ones that are very, very popular, see a lot of people using Zapier, of course. Shall I go into the debate about Zapier or Zapier? No, maybe not. I was reliably informed it's Zapier because it makes you happier, and that's how I remember it. Yeah, so all of the integrations are documented here. As well as that, actually, if you go to our support pages, if you could add this link as well to the chat as well, then Joe. Yeah. If you go in here as well, you can find support documentation around our integrations as well. So you can see here all of our different integrations that are here. There is further information, more in-depth documentation around each of those.
Here we go.
And while I've been talking, I've been visiting some more profiles, and you never know, maybe some more people have appeared in my CRM. There we go. We can see here a whole bunch of people here have appeared in the last 10 minutes. All of these people have been dynamically brought in by Dux Soup. I'm just also visiting some first degree connections. These are all people who've got email addresses. Perfect. Very, very easy. I can bring those people in seamlessly.
Lovely. We have a message from Xavier as well. He says, can this new integration with Freshsales also pick up email addresses if we enrich contacts with corporate email in Sales Navigator?
That's a good question. I would have to double check with the developer. That's one I don't have the answer to because it's to do with the data enrichment data that comes out of Sales Navigator. I would need to double check that one.
Okay, I'll take your details, Xavier, and we'll come back to you then.
Yep, we'll get back to you as quickly as possible.
And in terms of some of our other CRM content and webinars, obviously we've done quite a few different webinars around various different bits, HubSpot, Pipedrive, Zapier we've done, Woodpecker we did not that long ago, other integrations.
Well, last month here during August, last month is now October, isn't it yet? So about 6 weeks ago, we did an entire webinar looking at a Pipedrive and a HubSpot and Make and Zapier, how you can capture all of the data into different CRMs, so CRMs that we don't natively integrate with. So I think we looked at Zoho, I think was the one that we chose that for that particular example. But there's all sorts of possibilities, and there's also a lot of user knowledge out there. So we have, of course, our Facebook page where people ask questions around these sorts of things. People are usually very happy to share their knowledge and experience. So we've got a great community out there who are doing work all the time on these sorts of integrations. Whether that's using the API or using a platform, an intermediary platform such as Make or Zapier. So make use of those resources as well if you're looking at a different platform.
Yeah, and also if you go onto our webinar pages or our blog pages and you type in CRM in the search, it will bring up all of the previous content that we've done, which includes obviously all of the stuff that we've done around CRMs, various different ones. So maybe you can find the specific one that you're looking at. You can also find those on our Dux Soup YouTube channel too.
There you are. There's one there, integrating Dux Soup with your CRM. Yeah, 20th of August was the webinar we did there. And as Joe says, under the blog page posts as well, if you scroll down here or just put a keyword into here, if you look for example, CRM, you would see all of the related documentation and articles around the different CRMs and what level of Dux Soup is required in order to achieve some of these fabulous solutions that are out there.
Marvellous. Now, Xavier has also asked another one. It may be that this is also something we go back to, Iman. Is there the option to add a lead source or map additional fields through Dux Soup while the contact gets added into Freshsales?
No, so there are fixed fields that Dux Soup will bring across. There are no customizable options in this particular integration. So it's just a case of the fields that Dux Soup populates, the fields that Dux Soup populates. Now, we know some people who use our standard integrations and then supplement it with their own work as well, either using another platform such as Zapier, for example, to bring in supplementary data. But then once you've got the data in your CRM, then you can set up rules within your CRM to, for example, duplicate certain fields into to populate certain data into other fields as well. So there are some options there. I must admit I'm not so familiar with Freshsales yet that I can go into more detail there. But yeah, essentially the fields that Dux Soup brings across are fixed, and that's the data that we support.
Yeah, okay. Brett has also asked, is it possible to use the tool to search for LinkedIn profiles with the open to work distinction? And I'm not sure here whether he's asking about Freshsales or Dux Soup.
It sounds like a LinkedIn question to me. So what we're talking about here, for anybody who's sort of scratching their head and trying to work out, who was it came up with the question?
Brett.
Brett. Hi, Brett, wherever you may be in the world. At the moment, basically, yeah, when you carry out some sort of a search, whatever it might be, it's probably a bad, let's type in, oh dear, lost my keyboard. There we go. If we just type in developer here, and just so that people are aware of what we're talking about here, fingers crossed we'll find some people who are open to work. Of course, we're now not going to, because developers are all employed. Yeah, so you get a little banner here if you're open to work, if you're a job hunter. Now, Dux Soup can identify, let me just go and find here in the options. Where is it? Yeah, so Dux Soup is able to identify users who are open to work. And we can see here, we've got here an option to skip if not open to work option. And basically Dux Soup will look for that banner that's on a profile and then only reach out to people who are open to work. So yeah, Dux Soup can help you with that. And I think that's documented in our support pages as well. But there is this option here in Dux Soup, similar to the open link skipping option that we have. So yeah, that is possible there. And of course, yeah, it's going to be one of those things. I'm not going to be able to find anybody who is open to work while I'm looking for it now. But that's probably because of the target audience that I put in there. That's typical, isn't it? You never know. Maybe I'll get lucky. No, apparently not. Or maybe that's open to work. You never know. Let's try it. There we go. So these people here have got, yeah, so you see these people have got the green open to work thing, the little banner there. Yeah, if you want to only target those people in Dux Soup, then use the skip if not open to work, and then you can get Dux Soup to target only those people.
Lovely, lovely. I think that was our last question, actually. Nice and short and sweet today, not surprisingly, because it's a very niche topic. So
what do you mean niche? You mean select?
Select topic, very specific topic.
A niche topic for a select audience.
Yeah.
Cool. In 2 weeks' time, I'll let you do this one, Jo.
Yeah, let me tell you all. During our next session on the 15th of October, we'll be revealing how the top performing sales teams are driving bigger and better results from LinkedIn automation. We'll be taking a look at collaborative targeting and outreach, analysis and conversion rate optimization, and professional campaign and branding strategies. So if you would like to join that very sales team focused session, I am just putting the registration link into the chat now, so you can get that done, pop it in your diaries, and then you're good to go. Let's just check on the questions and make sure there's none others. No, none others have come in.
And remember, you guys are very, very lucky. You've been, you know, with the announcement already there, that Salesforce is coming as well. It's one we're really, really looking forward to. It's one that's been, should we say, kicked around as an idea for quite a long time, and it's great that we've actually broken through and now got this development underway. Now that Freshsales is done, this is definitely the next one that's coming. I'd say I've been told before the end of the year. Let's hope that we exceed expectations there, and yeah, we'll be able to again have a similar session to this, get some really good momentum, and see all of those all of those Salesforce users as well starting to use Dux Soup. Yeah,
that'd be fab. If any of you have any questions, any support requirements, then as ever, here are the various options that we have. So we've got the free support call, which is a quick 15-minute if you've got a specific query. If you need some help with your campaigns or a bit of a longer session with Giles or Scott, then you've got your booster session there. Or if you're looking at integrating, for example, with another technology and you need some technical guidance on that, then the technical session is the one that you're looking for. So they're all available on our website as well. The link is down there at the bottom, duxsoup.com/services. And just
if I can just add there as well, if you have got questions, then we try to do everything virtually. We try to do all of our support answers via email. We try to solve them that way. If we can't solve them that way, then of course we'd set up a support call and do a screen share so that we can fix anything that's happening at your end, and actually see if there is an issue that needs to be fixed from our side, or as to whether it's just some extra guidance that's required.
Indeed. There we go. I think we're kind of done. That was a nice, short and sweet one today, wasn't it?
Indeed, but very, very important. I think it's fabulous that we've got this new integration there. We'll be shouting it from the rooftops. Yeah, if you know other Freshsales users, or if you know you're looking at exploring the CRM market to see what to use, you know, I think this is a great there's a great opportunity here. I've been really impressed with the support, the literature, the information that's been available from Freshsales. So hopefully this is an extra complementary what do we call it? Yeah, feature that's there to help boost the product.
Yeah, absolutely. I just spotted Adam sent us a message as well. He said, not a question, just a comment. We integrated with your event callbacks to store the data directly into our database. It went very smoothly and is working great. Very happy with the product. Thanks for that, Adam. Amazing. Why don't you copy feedback. That too now, and then you can choose a cap. Back to you, and then you're sharing your wisdom with everyone else as well.
Cool.
Thanks all for today. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for your questions. I hope it's been useful, and hopefully use that link, and we'll see you all in 2 weeks' time.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Joe. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.